My sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan. Now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open. 'Cause when you call my name,
Good morning, everybody. I was experimenting. I was looking on the screen. There's a number of 9. Shows how many connections there are, and it's bouncing anywhere from 20 to 9, and then back to 20, then to 15. And I'm looking at it. So then, if you mouse over on it, it gives a breakdown. It tells you where each channel we're broadcasting to, how many are on it, and at one point it said Firmly Rooted Greendale's Facebook page had 8 people. And now it says Firmly Rooted Greendale's Facebook page has 0 people, but the number hasn't gone down. But they're I'm suspecting that this may not be 100% correct, but it doesn't matter. We know we have people there, and we have and I'm sure some are listening. Some might not comment, and some do. It's just part of who we are. Let's see who's here, right? Chuck Bees was here bright and early. Ken Gooch is here. And Bert Reggiani, Chris Conley, and AJ Jackson Sr. That's it. That's all that's commented. Of course, now according to this, we got 19 people on. So go figure. The internet, when you think you got it figured out, it kicks you in the mouth and says, you're not so smart. I kind of feel like Job. All right. Oh, see, look at that. There's another person just came in. Good morning, Jody. All right. So this morning we're talking, we moved from, we did 4 days in a row of 5 days of chapter 7. And today we're going to do all of chapter 8 in one devotion. And it reads like, wow, commas all over the place. I think I read through it like 6 times just so I didn't sound like a complete idiot when I was reading it. To me, it doesn't flow. It's a challenge, but it's got a message, and of course we're translating from another language, and that's what happens sometimes. But I thought what I'll do today is I will read it, and then we'll go back and discuss it as a whole, because I just think it would be too stop and go-ish, and it is a short chapter. It's not, it's only 13 verses, so we sure we'll get through this pretty quick. If you ever wonder how hard Tom works, try doing this for a week. It's one thing to do one devotion a week like I do on Tuesday, but when you're responsible for doing it 5 days, it's like no fun. It becomes a chore. Luckily, Matt Ryan is going to take Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week, and so all I will have is prayer today and Monday and tomorrow's devotion, and I'll be good. 1 Corinthians 8, 1 through 3. I think I have it here. Let me see if I can pull that up. Oh, and of course I didn't have it in the starting place because I was reading through it so many times. All right. Paul is talking to the church about food offered to idols. Now, concerning food offered to idols, we know that all of us possess knowledge. This knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. If anyone imagines that he knows something, he does not yet know as he ought to know. But if one loves God, he is known by God. Therefore, as to the eating of food offered to idols, we know that an idol has no real existence, and that there is no God but one. For although there may be many so-called gods in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods, it's not capital G, which is indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there's only one God, the Father, from whom we all things and from whom we exist, and one Lord Jesus Christ, through whom all things and through whom we exist. This one got me every time. However, not all possess this knowledge, but some, through former association with idols eat food that is really offered to an idol, and their conscience is weak. Conscience being weak is defiled. Food will not commend us to God. We are no worse off if we do not eat, or no better off if we do. But take care that this right of yours does not somehow become a stumbling block to the weak. For if anyone sees you who have knowledge eating at idol's temple, will he not be encouraged if his conscience is weak to eat food offered to idols? And so by your knowledge, this weak person is destroyed, the brother from whom Christ died, thus sinning against your brothers and wounding their conscience when it's weak. You sin against Christ. Therefore, if food makes my brother stumble, I will never eat meat, lest I make my brother stumble. There must be 75 comments in that paragraph. Comments. Paul is addressing the church in Corinth. Some believers have had the correct theology that idols are nothing. I mean, but they're using their knowledge in a prideful way. Idols, we know that idols aren't real. There's only one God, and therefore eating meat sacrificed to idols is harmless. I love how he uses the term puffs up. He's talking about your attitude when you have knowledge. He's talking about, I liken it to the Genesis story. What caused Eve to finally give in to the serpent? It was the thought that she would have knowledge. It was the thought that she would be more important than she is now because she had knowledge. That was the final thing that broke the straw. That was the straw that she said she went from listening to God to love breaking. Knowledge can be used to make you feel superior. People with knowledge have a tendency to talk down to people. It created distance from others. The focus is on being right, not being loving. You ever seen somebody that argued every point and you felt, please? Knowledge without love can become dangerous. I think is what Paul's saying, especially in a church. Pharisees knew the law, didn't they? I mean, the Pharisees knew the law inside out. They practiced it perfectly. But Jesus called them whitewashed tombs. He called them blind guides, hypocrites. So that knowledge did nothing for them. Paul goes further in this because just because it's okay to do something, just because it's not against the law, it's not against God's will, it could be a stumbling block to others. And I think that's where we saw with the church in Corinth. There was pagans that were now Christians, and they're seeing something that they did in their church, sacrificing to animals, and it was confusing their theology. It was they were struggling to put the two together, and they said, this guy's got knowledge, he must know it's okay, it's probably okay for me too. And then Paul basically is trying to say we need to limit sometimes our liberties to protect those who may be weak. If they witness one doing something that they consider smart or knowledgeable, it may embolden them to do the same thing, even though it may cause them to stumble. The church today, I think we have a perfect example in drinking and alcohol consumption. Here's a culture that it's widely accepted. It's not against church law. It's not against any law, really. People drink. Some people can't drink. Some people struggle with alcohol mightily. And when you drink in front of that person, you could tempt them. Addiction doesn't always have a pretty face on it. We know that it can cause us to do things that we wouldn't do normally. How about our entertainment choices? What if there's something you're watching that could trigger or could cause pain to another person or temptation? Even though it's legal, it doesn't necessarily mean it's right. I think Paul's whole message here. Oh, well, here's another one. How about financial? You ever been out to eat with somebody that really can't afford it, and do you order the nicest food? Do you take a person that can't afford it to a nicer restaurant than they can afford? There's so many little things that we could do to tempt a brother. And Paul's telling us, please don't do that. He was willing to give up meat for a brother that's struggling. He's telling us it's more important to choose love over freedom. And I think if you could take anything from these scriptures today, that's what you should do. Be careful in what we do that we consider legal and okay. If we know it could cause our brother to stumble. I read something yesterday and I loved it, so I wrote it down. Knowledge says this is fine. Freedom says I can do this. Love says maybe I shouldn't if it becomes someone else's stumbling block. Our freedoms could cause a person to trip, right? So we know that. I just think that he's warning his church that, that the key to this is love. Way back when Adam and Eve did this, it was love that broke. The thirst for knowledge caused Eve to stumble. We could cause somebody else to stumble with our knowledge. So there's so much. I'm probably rambling now, and I just I leave myself bullet points, right? Just little bullet points. And because I've read the stuff 20 times, and so then I leave myself bullet points, and I talk about the bullet points, and then sometimes I repeat the bullet points, and I think that's what I have done there. Have a firmly rooted day, everybody. I'm glad you. Oh wait, who showed up? I see Jody. Oh, Connie Sandbrink's here too. Good morning, Connie. And Jody Glenn. You guys, tomorrow, don't miss Connie Sandbrink doing prayer. I promise you it's good. And Jody Glenn, I think you do so great. Thank you, Jody. She's such a sweetheart. Charging Chat says, morning, y'all. And great word, brother. Thank you. All right. That's all I got. I'm glad you came. I'm glad we showed up. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll see you actually at 9 for prayer, and then tomorrow morning. All right. Have a firmly rooted day, everybody, and let someone see Jesus in you. Peace.